For more on this, let's go to Oktay Tanrisever, who joins us now live from the Turkish capital, Ankara. He's the chairperson of the Center for Black Sea and Central Asia and a faculty member of the Department of International Relations at Middle East Technical University. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the program today. Now, after all the sanctions that have been imposed on Russia aimed at ripping its economy apart, was it expected of Russia to make this move in banning exports?
Yes, I think this counter move was expected. I believe Western countries, when imposed the sanctions, calculated the dependence on Russian goods, especially the metals, in addition to oil and gas. As you know, there has been huge discussion about European dependence on Russian oil and gas, but metals like nickel, aluminium, such materials are quite important for industrial use. Western countries will try to reduce their dependence on Russia, and Russia could, of course, try to manipulate this dependence. It may take time for the Western countries to find alternatives to Russia, but this could also have significant impact on global price levels, since these metals are important input material for the production process. This will have inflationary pressure on markets. This conflict, Ukraine-Russia conflict, is likely to have some global economic influences.
Right.
Sanctions are usually two-way street. It cannot hurt only the target of the sanction. The sanctions would affect the party that imposed this. This is not valid for Western countries. It is also valid for Russia.
That brings me to my next question. You're saying that this move is going to put a lot of pressure on markets, but would it put a lot of pressure on Russia's economy, or would it bring relief to the country?
I think it will affect Russian economy negatively. So this is a lose-lose game. Russian economy could be affected negatively from this, because this export of raw materials is a significant part of Russian revenue. So this will have, of course, it could create economic problems for Russia. But we live in a world of interdependence. So all countries, even those countries which are not directly related to this conflict, will be affected negatively from economic point of view, because we live in a global economic system. If prices go up, this will make production more difficult,
Right.
and trade will be more difficult, and there will be some problems in the global supply chain.
Right. Russia has also opted to increase business with its allies like India. Now, India usually buys about 2 to 3% of its oil supplies from Russia, but that could very much change now that India is working on a rupee ruble trade settlement mechanism for Russian oil and other goods. How is this going to change the economic climate of that region?
I think these countries have been working on such mechanisms for some period of time. It's not something new, but Russia's exclusion from the SWIFT system and also problems in the financial system required Russia to find these alternatives. Of course, India might benefit from this because it could conduct its energy trade with its national currency. So they would prefer this. There might be some other countries like China who could also take advantage of Russia's weakness. Of course, this is not preferable for Russia from economic point of view because they would benefit more if they traded in international acceptable currencies. But under the current circumstances, they would push for such transitionary solutions.
Okay, Oktay Tanrisever, thank you so much for joining us here on Tier 2 World and sharing that insight with us.